Raisin Georgic. Filed the 9th of May, 2023, 11 a.m. GMT. Culiacan, Mexico.
Culiacan.
In January 2017, days after Mexico extradited the notorious drug trafficker Joaquin El Chapo Guzman to the United States, local cops in his home state of Sinaloa fell under attack.
Sinaloa.
Some were shot dead in broad daylight. Others vanished and were never found. In all, 13 police officers died or disappeared in the months that followed. That spree was the start of a shift in tactics within Guzman's Sinaloa cartel, according to core intelligence and security officials, one that signaled the arrival of a new force inside one of Mexico's most powerful drug syndicates, the Kingpin's Four Sons. Related podcast: The Sons of El Chapo go from Insta fame to most wanted. Collectively known as Los Chapitos, or the Little Chapos, the four siblings were once mocked by adversaries as entitled princelings more concerned with flashing their wealth on Instagram than the grubby work of moving tons of cocaine into the United States. Yet the brothers have resuscitated a drug empire teetering after their father was locked behind US bars and diversified the business by embracing a new line of synthetic drugs. Their early bet on fentanyl, a synthetic opioid 50 times more powerful than heroin, helped supercharge an opioid epidemic that has placed them squarely in the crosshairs of American anti-narcotics agents. Last month, U.S. authorities laid out extensive new charges against the brothers in indictments filed in multiple jurisdictions, and upped bounties for two of the siblings to $10 million apiece, cementing their status as some of the world's most powerful and wanted drug lords. U.S. officials portrayed them as the face of a highly addictive poison that's killing nearly 200 Americans daily.
Oh, really? I thought that was Big Pharma's fault. Isn't that why Walgreens and CVS and Walmart got like $1 billion worth of lawsuit? Fucking bullshit. I don't know. Why is my microphone so weak? I tell you. Is that any better? Nah. Whatever. There. Let's continue. I think this is just... I would put this on YouTube, but the narcos might find out. And then I caramba. You know? The narcos ain't watching Twitch. Shit. This is some nerd shit, man. Right? You know I'm right. Damn, that's a long ass article. I'm probably gonna fall asleep before the end of this. Let's see. Alright, let's give it a try. What do you say?
The U.S. government has advertised hefty rewards for information leading to the arrest of Los Chapitos accused drug traffickers and sons of famed Sinaloa cartel kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. One of the siblings is currently in custody in Mexico. The others remain at large. U.S. State Department /handout via Reuters. The Chapitos pioneered the manufacture and trafficking of the deadliest drug our country has ever faced, and Milgram, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, chief, said it in the 14th of April press conference in Washington. They inherited a global drug empire and made it more ruthless, more violent and more deadly. On Tuesday, the U.S. Treasury sanctioned one of the brothers, Joaquin Jr., for his role in the Los Chapitos fentanyl network, alleging that he is involved in the management of super labs. His three siblings had been sanctioned previously for purported trafficking. Los Chapitos, for the first time ever, released a public letter last week denying claims that they traffic fentanyl and rebutting allegations made by U.S. officials in the Washington press conference.
Really?
We have never produced, manufactured or marketed fentanyl or any of its derivatives.
Really?
We are victims of persecution and they made us a scapegoat, the brothers said in the letter. Mexico's Milenio news channel aired its contents on May the 3rd, along with an interview of Guzman family lawyer Jose Refugio Rodriguez, who provided the broadcaster with the document.
Now I don't know what to believe.
Denying that they head the Sinaloa cartel, the brothers said drug traffickers and the media have exploited their father's fame to implicate them in crimes of which they are innocent. El Chapo is serving a life sentence in a Supermax prison in Colorado. Mariel Colin Muro, Guzman's U.S.-based attorney, said her client was unable to comment due to restrictions barring him from speaking to the media. The four brothers, two born to El Chapo's first wife, the others to another, range in age from 33 to 40, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. Headed by Ivan, El Chapo's oldest son, the siblings have emerged as key figures in the Sinaloa cartel, U.S. and Mexican anti-narcotics officials said. While the syndicate is a loose confederation of trafficking factions that cooperate on logistics and security, the Guzman's bloc is a pillar of the organization, the officials said, and Los Chapitos have quickly consolidated power within it. To chronicle the rise of this new generation of narco juniors as children of established traffickers are known in Mexico, Reuters spoke with four Sinaloa cartel operatives and visited a house where gang members assembled pills stuffed with methamphetamine, another cash cow.
Amphetamine?
The news agency also interviewed dozens of sources, including law enforcement, intelligence and government officials in Mexico and the United States, as well as local residents who've witnessed the changing of the guard. The rapid ascendancy of Los Chapitos, many details of which are told here for the first time, shows how authorities may have underestimated the former party boys.
Hardy, hardy.
This new generation is more violent. Before, they would interrogate and then kill you. Now they kill and ask questions later.
No.
Retired Sinaloan police officer
do?
on the contrast between drug trafficker Joaquin El Chapo Guzman and his sons. A 2019 showdown with Mexico's army in Culiacan, Sinaloa's capital, already has cemented their place in narco law. Soldiers captured a video, the youngest of the four siblings, then quickly released him on the orders of Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador after cartel foot soldiers fought troops in shootouts that killed 14 people, including several bystanders.
That's sad.
This new generation is more violent, said one retired Mexican police officer in Sinaloa. Before, they would interrogate and then kill you. Now they kill and ask questions later. Within the cartel, the brothers have battled elders opposed to them assuming their father's mantle, including El Chapo's former right-hand man Damaso Lopez, according to U.S. and Mexican security sources. But these young guns have also built a reputation as sharp businessmen. They've helped transform Mexico from a transit country for Chinese-produced fentanyl into a major production hub, half a dozen U.S. officials and sources said. To do that, they said, Los Chapitos built a network of clandestine laboratories across Sinaloa and ramped up smuggling of precursor chemicals from China. The earnings have been astronomical. The cartel can turn $800 worth of precursor chemicals into fentanyl pills or powder that reap profits as high as $640,000, according to one of the April indictments, which was filed in the Southern District of New York. That cash, U.S. prosecutors say, has bankrolled a war chest used by the brothers to bribe politicians and cops, and finance an ever-growing army of sicarios, or hitmen, to protect their interests. The impact on U.S. streets has been devastating. One American dies from a fentanyl overdose almost every 8 minutes, U.S. Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco said at the Washington press conference. U.S. overdose deaths, the lion's share due to fentanyl, surged to nearly 107,000 in 2021. More than 41 kilograms of fentanyl powder and 630,000 fentanyl pills were seized from a Phoenix, Arizona, stash house by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency on the 19th of August, 2022. Some of the drugs bore stamps of Chipiza and Raton, nicknames Los Chapitos and Ovidio Guzman, respectively. U.S. Department of Justice /handout via Reuters. Los Chapitos' ascent, U.S. and Mexican officials say, has coincided with a decision by López Obrador to turn away from the aggressive anti-narcotics policies of his predecessors. After assuming office in December 2018, López Obrador restructured Mexico's security forces, eliminating teams that were once at the forefront of probing cartel activity, U.S. and Mexico security sources said. They say the president also curbed security cooperation with the United States and largely eschewed the so-called kingpin strategy that led previous administrations to arrest El Chapo and other high-profile traffickers. Instead, the president has vowed to concentrate on social programs to tackle crime and violence at a grassroots level, a policy dubbed abrazos, no balazos or hugs, not bullets. Mexico's presidency did not respond to a request for comment about López Obrador's crime-fighting approach. He has repeatedly touted his strategy on multiple visits to Sinaloa. Nothing can be solved with the use of force.
Right.
You can't put out fire with fire, López Obrador told residents in 2019. His supporters note that murders nationwide have stabilized since he took power. The president's critics say the number of homicides above 30,000 a year is still extremely high, and the production and smuggling of drugs into the United States have increased. Mexico's army did ultimately apprehend Ovidio Guzman earlier this year by sending hundreds of troops to raid one of his homes in rural Sinaloa. He's now in a maximum security lockup near Mexico City. But that arrest had more to do with the army trying to restore its battered prestige rather than a shift in López Obrador's thinking, 4 U.S. and Mexican officials said. Ovidio's lawyer and López Obrador's office did not respond to requests for comment. The army did not comment about its motive for the arrest. U.S. Mexico security ties have frayed. López Obrador called the recent U.S. indictments against the 4 younger Guzmans an abusive, arrogant interference that should not be accepted under any circumstances. The Mexican leader said the case was built by D agents operating in Mexico, which he has deemed a violation of sovereignty. While he has not booted the agency from the country, D operations have been hobbled on his watch. Mexico in 2021 disbanded an elite police unit that worked closely with the D for a quarter of a century, amended a national security law to make it harder for foreign agents to operate inside Mexico, and slow-walked visa approvals for D agents, CNN reported. Those measures were widely viewed as retaliation for the 2020 arrest of former Mexican Defense Minister Salvador Cienfuegos in Los Angeles on drug trafficking charges, a move that angered López Obrador. U.S. prosecutors later dropped the charges, pointing to sensitive foreign policy considerations. The Justice Department declined to comment. The D did not respond to a request for comment. Rafael Heredia Rubio, a lawyer representing Cienfuegos, said he was not authorized to comment. Cienfuegos' attorneys previously denied that he was involved in drug trafficking. The Sinaloa cartel uses military-grade weapons to perpetrate violence in Mexico against other traffickers, civilians, government officials and security forces, according to a U.S. indictment unsealed on the 14th of April, 2023. U.S. Department of Justice /handout via Reuters. Ferraris and pet tigers. Born into one of Mexico's most storied outlaw families, Guzman's 5 sons Edgar, Ivan, Jesus Alfredo, Joaquin Jr. and Ovidio grew up in luxury once unimaginable to their father, a semi-literate farm worker from Sinaloa's mountains before becoming the head of a drug empire. El Chapo fathered more than a dozen children, according to local media, not all of whom are reputed to be involved in drug trafficking. Minor social media celebrities, they flaunted their pet tigers, Ferraris and a golden AK-47 on Instagram and Twitter.
How cute.
Those accounts were never verified by those platforms, but a social media analyst familiar with cartel communications and two security sources told Reuters they believed the accounts were authentic. Social media accounts linked to Los Chapitos celebrate their wealth and outlaw notoriety. Twitter. Early on, the general perception was that Los Chapitos were spoiled brats, said Mike Vigil, former head of D's international operations. After El Chapo's escape from a maximum security prison in 2001, reportedly in a laundry trolley, the brothers took a hands-on approach to the family business, security sources said. Edgar blazed a trail for his brothers by building his own contacts and doing his own deals, the sources said. But he was killed in 2008 in Culiacan in a hail of bullets amid infighting between warring factions of the Sinaloa cartel. His four surviving brothers filled the void, US and Mexican security sources said. Starting in 2009 with Jesus Alfredo, the brothers all have been indicted by US authorities multiple times for alleged offenses including money laundering, possession of machine guns and trafficking of fentanyl, heroin and cocaine. The U.S. State Department in 2021 put $5 million bounties on their heads, a figure recently doubled for Ivan and Jesus Alfredo, while the D set up Chapitos tips at d.gov to encourage snitches to rat them out. The agency in April placed Ivan on the list of its 10 most wanted fugitives, joining Jesus Alfredo and Ismael El Mayo Zambada, a Sinaloa cartel legend and El Chapo's alleged former business partner. Washington has taken note of Los Chapitos' entrepreneurial flair. The State Department in its 2021 bounty notices said a video and Joaquin Jr. began smuggling chemicals from Argentina in 2008 to launch experiments in Mexico on how to produce methamphetamine.
Yeah, I watched BBC.
As they built their own crew, the brothers purportedly discarded the shibboleth that Sinaloa kingpins should only sell drugs to foreigners. Los Chapitos placed pushers on street corners in Culiacan, according to cartel members and Mexican media reports. In what would prove another consequential move, a video in 2014 began to tinker with manufacturing fentanyl in Mexico, according to one of the indictments unsealed last month. That same year, the brothers faced another major test. Their father was nabbed again, this time by Mexican Marines working with the D. The sons helped El Chapo stage yet another audacious escape in July 2015 by organizing the construction of a mile-long tunnel to his Mexican prison cell, according to testimony that would emerge later at the Elder Guzman's 2019 drug trafficking trial in New York. Following the tunnel caper, Mexican authorities recaptured El Chapo in January 2016. He tapped his sons to head his portion of the trafficking empire, triggering a power struggle with Lopez, who had run the business during the boss's previous incarceration, according to 2017 Mexican military intelligence documents viewed by Reuters. Captured drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is escorted by soldiers in Mexico City on the 8th of January 2016. While he has been locked up in a U.S. prison, his sons have assumed his mantle and expanded his trafficking empire, anti-narcotics authorities say. Reuters /Henry Romero. Los Chapitos and their posse squeezed Lopez's crew by crimping his finances. Near a Sinaloan dam where both groups filched water to feed their clandestine drug labs, the brothers cut off Lopez's access to this critical resource, crippling his manufacturing capability while keeping the taps open for themselves, according to 3 serving Mexican Marines who spoke with Reuters. Los Chapitos had an advantage as they kept the production of drugs. They had money to pay sicarios, by arms, said one of the men, who had worked with the elite Navy unit that helped capture El Chapo in 2016. The feud escalated into all-out war following Guzman's 2017 extradition to the United States. El Chapo's sons targeted the 13 Sinaloan police officers for execution because they were on Lopez's payroll, according to prosecutors and former cops in Sinaloa, as well as military officials and intelligence documents reviewed by Reuters. Police in Sinaloa did not respond to claims that the targeted officers were in league with Lopez. One of the U.S. indictments unsealed last month details other grisly violence allegedly meted out by Los Chapitos. Their henchmen allegedly kidnapped 2 officials from the Federal Attorney General's office in early 2017, torturing one by inserting a corkscrew into his muscles, ripping it out, then placing hot chilies into his open wounds and nose.
Ouch.
Ivan finished off the victims with gunshots, with Jesus Alfredo pitching in to shoot one in the face, according to the indictment, which said the 2 brothers also killed some enemies by feeding them alive to the pet tigers they kept at their ranches.
That's a good way to get rid of the body.
The brothers, in their public letter, denied killing or torturing the officials or feeding people to tigers.
Like border crossers.
A tiger may kill a person, but eat him? We do not have, nor did we have tigers, the letter stated. Los Chapitos prevailed in their struggle with Lopez, who was arrested in Mexico City in 2017 by the Mexican military and subsequently extradited to the United States. A star prosecution witness in El Chapo's 2019 trial, Lopez got his own life sentence for drug trafficking reduced. In 2021, his name disappeared from the Federal Bureau of Prisons' public registry of inmates, fueling media speculation that he entered witness protection. Lopez, through his lawyer, declined to comment. On their turf in Culiacan, meanwhile, the brothers quickly solidified their grip on the local drugs market, a local trafficker told Reuters. Jesus, an independent operator in Culiacan who ships fentanyl and heroin to the United States with the help of the syndicate, said gunmen working for Los Chapitos told street dealers they had to purchase product from their cartel faction exclusively and pay protection money. He said several friends and family members who were slow to comply were kidnapped and beaten. Los Chapitos made it clear that now the market belongs to them, Jesus said. Blue powder consistent with the appearance of fentanyl is seen at a drug lab seized by the Mexican Army in Culiacan, Mexico on the 15th of February, 2023. Secretariat de la Defensa Nacional /handout via Reuters. Mexican Army soldiers at the same captured drug lab in Culiacan, Mexico, a stronghold of the Sinaloa cartel. Secretariat de la Defensa Nacional /handout via Reuters. Showing who's boss. On the 1st of December, 2018, López Obrador took office after winning Mexico's presidency in a landslide. Within months, members of UNOPS, the Navy's elite special forces unit that had pursued El Chapo and other traffickers, were ordered by superiors to leave Sinaloa and shut down their temporary bases there, according to the 3 Marines and 3 XD officials. The President's office did not respond to a request for comment. In October 2019 came the Mexican Army's first capture of a video Guzman in Culiacan. Recalling that day, 2 Sinaloa cartel members told Reuters that, within minutes, encrypted radios carried by fellow gunmen began to buzz with the news, "The boss has fallen. The boss has fallen." Footage released by the Mexican government shows the first arrest of a video Guzman on the 17th of October, 2019, in Culiacan, Mexico. Gunfire can be heard in the background as Sinaloa cartel hitmen clashed with federal forces. Guzman is seen speaking by cell phone with his brother asking that cartel soldiers be withdrawn to prevent chaos. Guzman was quickly released on the orders of Mexico's president after the violence left 14 people dead, several of them bystanders. Secretariat de la Defense Nacional /handout via Reuters. Hundreds of gang fighters armed with military-grade weapons rushed to the scene, firing on government troops and barricading key city streets to trap them. They also kidnapped 8 soldiers and surrounded military housing where wives and children of Mexican soldiers lived, Mexican officials said. With the pop-pop-pop of gunfire echoing in the background, encircled Mexican troops put a video on the phone with his brother Ivan in an attempt to get Los Chapitos to call off their gunmen. "Tell them to stand down, I don't want chaos," a video said in video footage released by Mexico's government. "Hell no, we are coming to rescue you," Ivan responded, according to Sinaloa newspaper Reados. Hours later, with Culiacan resembling a war zone and scenes of pandemonium being broadcast across the globe, López Obrador ordered the army to free a video. The Day of Terror shocked Sinaloans, whose relationship with the cartel is complex.
It is.
El Chapo had the reputation of being ruthless to those who crossed him. But locals say he provided jobs, handouts and security by punishing hoodlums preying on poor communities.
You want to hear
Sinaloa
a story
cartel
about
gunmen take
locals in Sinaloa? Here, I met these kids. They were punk rockers, you know, here in Tucson, transplants, I guess you could say. And, you know, border crossers, but they were here, and they were telling me what it was like to get cell phone service down in cartel zone, you know, Sinaloa. They said that they were accustomed to climbing the telco, you know, a pole, like a telephone pole, and they would attach this equipment that they would get, you know, from, they're basically like gang members, but not like gang members like in America, more just like family, you know what I mean? They're like trying to survive in Cartelville. And they would take these devices that they got from their family, attach them at the top of the pole, and then they'd have cell phone service. And they'd be stealing from the cartel because all the cell phones were cartel run, and that's what they told me. I don't know, I'm just telling you. And essentially they knew that if they got caught, they'd be killed. That's what that's like when you're a local.
Up positions near a burning truck in Culiacan, Mexico, on the 17th of October, 2019, following the detention of Ovidio Guzman by the Mexican army. The day was dubbed Black Thursday by the Mexican press for the mayhem that ensued. Reuters /Stringer. It was the first time we saw the Sinaloa cartel use their armed power to generate chaos and fear to try to achieve their goals, said Adrian Lopez, publisher of the Sinaloa Noroeste newspaper. For the brothers, it was a turning point. Mexico's military and its president had bowed to them in front of the entire world. It showed who has power, a cartel member said. Still, they set out to burnish their public image. One such charm offensive took place in December 2020 in San Diego, a village about 60 kilometers south of Culiacan that is home to several high-ranking cartel sicarios, a resident told Reuters. Their Los Chapitos staged a music concert and raffle, whose prizes included new cars, washing machines and refrigerators, all bearing stickers emblazoned with El Chapo's initials JGL for Joaquin Guzman, lower that person and 2 other locals said. A fourth declined to answer questions, saying, "I don't want them to disappear me."
Ooh.
During COVID-19 lockdowns, the brothers doled out food parcels and built an outdoor school in rural Sinaloa, and they have maintained the tradition of punishing common hoodlums, Sinaloa residents and cartel members said. Taking control. But like their father, Los Chapitos are at heart violent businessmen with a drive for manufacturing and moving drugs, security officials and cartel members said. a gang soldier calling himself Bro, a silver pistol tucked into his waistband, last year gave Reuters a tour of a cartel safe house on the edge of Culiacan. There, two young men in white surgical gloves sat at a brown lacquered table carefully stuffing white powder into transparent capsules, methamphetamine samples for a new client looking to ship in bulk to the United States, Bro said.
Oh my.
A Sinaloa cartel gunman who calls himself Bro poses with gang members preparing methamphetamine capsules at a safe house operated by Los Chapitos in Culiacan, Mexico on the 4th of April, 2022. Reuters /Alexandre Miniini. As fentanyl and meth production have soared, U.S. seizures have likewise skyrocketed. Interdictions of fentanyl alone on the U.S. Mexico border hit 14,104 pounds, 6,397 kilograms, in the fiscal year ended the 30th of September, 2022, up more than 400% since 2019, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection data.
Granted,
Inside Mexico, meanwhile, the army had a grudge to settle.
Preferably.
In early January of this year, the army told López Obrador it planned to mount a top-secret operation to recapture video, according to a then senior government official with direct knowledge of the events. The president approved the mission but was not informed of the date and time, the source said. Mexico's army and the presidency did not respond to requests for comment about the official's account. As hundreds of soldiers encircled a video's rural Sinaloan compound in the pre-dawn assault, a helicopter strafed targets from the air, video of the incident showed. The rearrest of accused drug trafficker Ovidio Guzman by the Mexican army on the 5th of January, 2023, sparked a rampage by Sinaloa cartel members in several parts of Sinaloa state. A soldier walks near a vehicle set alight in the port city of Mazatlan. Reuters /Stringer. Cartel gunmen went on a rampage again, setting cars on fire, blocking roads and forcing Culiacan's airport to shut by shooting at passenger jets. The violence left 29 people dead, including 10 armed forces personnel. But the sicarios were too late. A military chopper had already whisked a video out of Sinaloa. Despite that blow to the Sinaloa cartel, fentanyl keeps flowing north. In February and March, U.S. border agents seized a combined 5,130 pounds, 2,326 kilograms, of fentanyl in two of the biggest monthly hauls ever. Editor's note, this story was updated after publication to add news about fresh U.S. sanctions on Joaquin Guzman López.
I'm not a junkie. I'm a patient. Like you know the difference. Like you care. I hate this country. You know, the funny thing is, people used to say that the cartel was funded by drug addicts that intentionally were buying drugs. But like all the people that are getting fentanyl these days illegally, it's usually because their drugs are laced. They don't even know that they're buying fentanyl. They're just stupid cokeheads. It's like insult to injury, roughly. I think that's appropriate. It's definitely ironic. If it's not insult to injury, it's at least ironic. Wouldn't you say? I mean, look at all the celebrities that have overdosed and died. Comedians, musicians, whatever. Oh, but who do we have to blame? Let's see. Can I find... I know this happened recently. Yeah. see what happened. $10 billion? Oh my God. Are you serious? 10 billion? Wait, is this for real? Are we blaming the right people? I don't know. What is this story? I need my computer to read it to me.
Skip to main content. Attorney General of Texas. Espanol about news, opinions, careers. Contact us. Keywords: breadcrumb. Home news releases Paxton secures over $10 billion in opioid funds from CVS and Walgreens. The 20th of January, 2023 press release: opioids Paxton secures over $10 billion in opioid funds from CVS and Walgreens. Share this. Attorney General Paxton announced that Texas is joining finalized opioid agreements with CVS and Walgreens totaling $10.7 billion nationally, with CVS paying $5 billion and Walgreens paying $5.7 billion. Texas and its local governments are slated to receive over $304 million from CVS and $340 million from Walgreens. This brings the total amount of settlement funds from attorneys general investigations and litigation against the pharmaceutical industry for its role in the opioid crisis to more than $50 billion. Every single day, Americans from all backgrounds are suffering from opioid addiction and its destructive consequences, said Attorney General Paxton. The tragic and infuriating reality is that this epidemic has not happened by accident. There are companies that have played a role in worsening, and in many cases causing, opioid addiction.
It's true.
They must be held responsible, and CVS and Walgreens are no exception. In addition to the financial settlement, CVS and Walgreens will comply with court-ordered injunctive relief that requires the pharmacists to monitor, report, and share data about suspicious activity related to opioid prescriptions.
What do I know?
Now that Texas and other states have joined these settlements, the settlement deal will enter the second phase before CVS and Walgreens begin making payments. Local governments will be given the option to join the settlement, and if there is sufficient sign-on from states and local governments around the country, the payments will start during the second half of 2023. CVS's payments will be spread over 10 years, and Walgreens' payments will be spread over 15 years. As with the other opioid settlements, nearly all of the settlement funds from CVS and Walgreens must be used to remediate the opioid crisis, including prevention, harm reduction, treatment, and recovery services. This agreement is one of several opioid settlements that Attorney General Paxton has negotiated for Texas. Attorney General Paxton has secured over $2.9 billion for Texas from those that have worsened this crisis, including Walgreens, CVS, Allergan, Walmart, Mallinckrodt, Teva, Endo, Johnson & Johnson, and McKinsey. Receive email updates from the OAG press office. Email address related news. Paxton announces that Texas has joined $2.37 billion settlement with opioid manufacturer Allergan. Attorney General Paxton announced that Texas is joining a $2.37 billion settlement with opioid manufacturer Allergan for its role in the nationwide opioid epidemic. The 20th of January, 2023 press release: Paxton secures $168 million for Texas in opioid agreement with Walmart. Attorney General Paxton announced a planned $3.1 billion settlement with Walmart, with over $168 million designated for Texas, for Walmart's role in the nationwide opioid epidemic. The 15th of December, 2022 press release: Paxton urges federal government to protect access to telehealth option, enabling people to obtain treatment for opioid use. Attorney General Paxton has joined a multi-state letter urging the Drug Enforcement Administration, D, and Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, SAMHSA, to permanently extend the Favadura rule that allows individuals seeking opioid treatment to be prescribed buprenorphine via telemedicine appointments. The 9th of December, 2022 press release. See all news back to top. Twitter, Facebook. P.O. Box 12548 Austin, TX 78711 to 2548. Child Support Crime Victims Consumer Protection Open Government.
Pacifica is still Pacifica.
All Divisions Opinions Initiatives Human Resources.
Join me for another day.
Where the money goes, data compliance compact with Texans cost efficiency saving ideas reporting fraud state agency contracts trails search Texas Homeland Security Texas Veterans Portal Texas.gov accessibility and site policies.
What are we talking about? Oh. I'm sorry I asked that. I think I just ran out of pills. I'm gonna try to just not think about that. I'll go to sleep. Everything will be fine. I'll deal with life when I wake up. This place is fucking cyberpunk assholes. Come on. Oh wait, you know what? Here, let me do this real quick. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna try to do that. There we go. It works. Alright. We're okay. Peachy keen, baby. I wanna make some money, but I don't want no job. Wanna make the money, but I can't get it up. I hope this looks better. I know my last few streams were very choppy. They're practically El Chapo. You know what I mean? They're like, I'm hoping that, you know, it's because I'm using the Wi-Fi, and I don't have a direct line. Like, I've had technical problems lately that I can't deal with because I got a dying gecko on my hands. I haven't had a prescription for medication in like a year, and I'm basically a wreck. So sorry, doing my best here. Whatever. You don't get it. Let's fuck shit up. Best we can. This bash brains in. That's about what I'm ready for. Just bash my brains in, please. I wish I was like you, easily amused. Oh yeah. God rest your soul, Kurt. Fucking A. What was I trying to do? I Don't buy a car. Mine hasn't run in about a year. Oh wait, that's IRL, I'm sorry. Trying to keep it. Yeah, sure, why not? I don't give a fuck. Let's go do a job. Come on. Let's work. Work, work, work. Let's work hard. And work well. You know it's worth it. Get them A's, man. Fucking A. Alright. I played that song for you earlier. I don't have to reiterate. It's a slave smart convenience one. With no conveniences like something to eat. Anyway. That's so
You want your teeth ripped off?
kill that guy, do that. That happens sometimes. You hit somebody in the head, they actually die. If you punch them too hard, maybe they fall over and they hit their head on a curb. It actually happens. You think you're a real badass when you win a fight? Yeah, you're a real badass when you kill them, when they fall over and hit their head on a fucking curb. Or maybe they live and they end up brain damaged and fucked up the rest of their life. You tough guy. Fucking hate you. You have totally the wrong priorities. All of you. I think that's real tough. Fucking ruining somebody's life. That's really cool though. Fucking, I'm sick of this world. Everybody's got their head up their ass. I swear to God. Nobody's getting behind my world peace now thing. It's stupid, right? It's not like you're gonna make money. Not gonna make any eddies. We're talking about world peace now. Might as well become a fentanyl dealer. Fucking assholes. I hate you all. I really got no time. Let's just drown myself. It's beautiful down here, isn't it? You guys ever read the intro to Jaws by James Bentley? Writer, author. I like this hot chick. She's all skinny dipping out in the ocean. But she feels something on the bottom of her feet. That's what it is. Ding, 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 you guessed right. It's Jaws. Spoiler alert. And it's the first chapter. I didn't spoil anything. Practically like a movie trailer. I heard coral reefs. They are, you know what? Do I look like a hippie? Do I look like a give a fuck? Fuck it, man. I'm more worried about myself. A living, breathing human being. I'm sorry. I love coral reefs. They're beautiful. But, you know what? I'm more concerned about myself right now. I'm practically more extinct than a fucking coral reef. If you think about it. Whatever. You'll never get it. You've never been addicted to that family. And I say that it's not a bad thing to be addicted to a fucking opioid if you're legitimately damaged and surgeons can't fix you. Like, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Anyway, damn, look at that booty. Look at the cooler on that one. Woo. Getting the buttons on that one.
Judy.
Yeah?
So, got a plan?
Damn right I do. I'm over to mine tonight. Gonna lay the groundwork with Tom and Roxy. They're with us. Michael will be here too.
How'd you manage that?
Got something really big. Tell you everything tonight. Last thing, what do you like on your pizza?
Anchovies. That works. Tuna. It's close enough. Ooh, but I could use my good karma for this, right? You know what? Fuck it, man.
Tofu, tuna, and pineapple flavor.
Now there's two things that don't belong in the same sentence, let alone on the same pizza. You're kidding, right?
Not really.
We're talking pizza. And I'm dead fucking serious.
Right?
So, I'll see you come evening.
You gonna tell me this big secret of yours?
Figured out how to tweak behavioral chips. Turn dolls into fighters.
Oh.
Sounds like my kind of plan.
God
Go over the
damn.
specifics tonight. You're coming, right?
Of course I'll be there.
That's pretty crazy. That's like some Manchurian candidate shit right there. Anyhow. You know, my gecko, he's still sick, but I got him some antibiotics that are for pinworms. I think he's, I don't know. He's got a vet appointment on the 22nd. I can't really afford it. I've already spent $300. I hope they don't charge too much. People keep telling me, oh, he's so old. He's not that old. 17 is, look it up on Wikipedia. 17 is not old for a leopard gecko. It's fucked up. The attitude that people have regarding everything. I'm so done with you. All of you. None of you have anything supportive to say.
Something's wrong here.
Take that, bitch. I don't give a fuck anymore. Law and order, fuck you. I normally help these guys, you know? I shouldn't do that. I'm gonna fuck up my record. I have a good record. I'm an outstanding citizen. It's so frustrating. I got so many problems. I mean, car, gecko, medication, that's just the beginning. Can you think of some other problems I could have? How about, like, I wish I was in a successful band? How about I wish my corporation any better because it's coming up on the 20th anniversary of the fucking fatal rollover? How about like my love life? What about it? Oh gee, how about like if I wanted to have a child I couldn't afford to, they'd be just as I'd be repeating a cycle of poverty basically. Yeah, let's not get started. I can't hit the kid. I want to kill the kid. Let me kill the kid. Ah, this game sucks. It's totally censored.